Welcome to Constitution Study Television. I am Douglas V. Gibbs, your host, and you can visit me also online at douglasvgibbs.com and politicalpistachio.com. And someone at one of my Constitution classes, I teach two of them, one on Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock in Corona, California, and one on Wednesday nights in Temecula, California. Matter of fact, if you want to learn about those, go to douglasvgibbs.com and find the Constitution classes link there. And a person asked me about the Patriot Act. What did I think of the Patriot Act? And my first response was, well, on the surface, it seems like it's not a big deal. I mean, all the things that it pulls into play together was already on the books, and it just put them into one act. Now the question is, were those things that were already in place or already law, were they constitutional in the first place? And was what the Patriot Act doing constitutional or not? Now, the idea is we got to protect ourselves, and there has to be certain security, and so you have to be able to, if there's infiltrators, there's terrorists inside the borders of your country, you need to be able to maybe bend a few rules in order to make sure that you can take care of business, because domestic terrorism could be very dangerous. And then there's a quote that comes to mind. It's been attributed to Benjamin Franklin. I'm not sure if it was necessarily him. I've read that it wasn't, but nonetheless, the quote goes as follows: "Those who sacrifice liberty for security deserve neither." So the Patriot Act is designed to sacrifice some liberty for this security against terrorism. Do we deserve our liberty if we're willing to do that? At what point does the provisions of the Patriot Act violate the Fourth Amendment, which goes into unreasonable searches and seizures and things of that nature? Now, what's interesting to me is every time we get into this discussion, people keep responding to me, yeah, but Doug, we've got to protect ourselves. Yeah, but Doug, we've got to make sure that the terrorists are taken care of. The federal government's got to protect us from the terrorists. Not according to the U.S. Constitution. When it comes to the U.S. Constitution, the reality is that the best deterrence against domestic terrorism is an armed populace. Now, if domestic violence happens, there are terrorist attacks, then the government needs to get involved to investigate, stop whoever was doing it, arrest them, so on and so forth. But how do you deter it? Second Amendment. If everybody was walking around armed, open carry or concealed carry, I don't care. But if the gun control laws were gone, first of all, the federal government has no authority over the gun issue anyway. It's a state issue. But if all the states, all the cities, all the counties decided, you know what? We're going to make owning a firearm and carrying a firearm very easy. Do you think we would have a problem with domestic terrorism? If there was a gun behind every blade of grass, as the Japanese felt during World War II, which is why they never invaded us on the shores of our country, do you think there'd be a domestic terrorist problem? Do you think Islamic terrorism, for example, would rise up in America if all of the Americans were walking around with their firearms on their hips? No. This would be the safest country in the world. Unfortunately, we've got a progressive agenda that's trying to do the opposite. And what they're doing is they're making it more dangerous to live here by trying to take the guns away from law-abiding, red-blooded American citizens. So, Patriot Act. Yeah, largely unconstitutional. Yeah, there's a lot of it that I don't like. I get the reasoning behind it, but the truth is, if you want to accomplish what the Patriot Act is supposed to accomplish, you put the firearms in the hands of the people. It'd be amazing how few terrorist attacks we would ever have if that was the case. In fact, I think the building of mosques would pretty much overall stop. That's just me. Thanks for watching. I am Douglas V. Gibbs, douglasvgibbs.com, politicalpistachio.com. United we stand, combined we kick butt. Where we go one, we go all. Stay safe, stay patriotic, and as always, stay constitutional. We'll see you next time right here on Constitution Study Television. Thanks for watching.